This video is sponsored by OneFootball, an app that is free to download on iOS and Android devices. This app will definitely help you out with FPL and the Champions League fantasy football. You'll be able to follow your favorite teams, find out the latest news, live scores, highlights, transfers, stats, and many, many more. If you're interested, there will be a link in the description below. Thank you. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Fantasy Football and welcome to my video. It is time for Game Week 23 preview, and as you can see, I don't have the webcam on at the moment. It's actually not working right now, but do not worry, I do have a cover that is taken over, that actually might take over my team. That is Firmino. Now I'll be talking about him in a sec because I may actually change my transfer plans for the double Game Week 24. Now, before we go into my team for Game Week 23, I picked a bunch of players that could help you guys out. Now, last week we looked at some differential players. We looked at Mahrez, Richarlison, David Silva, Martial, and all of those players actually paid off. Does this mean it's going to happen every week? Not really, but I thought, why don't I do that again? But this time I create like a short list of players and mix them up a little bit. So some of these players that you are seeing are highly owned. Some of these players are differentials, and some of them actually helps your team structure. Okay, so let's go through it. So first up is Ings, 6.8, 24.2% owned, and both of these is going to rise. I'm pretty sure that he's going to get up to like the 30% mark. Just before Game Week 23, and look at this record: 14 goals and 1 assist, and that is incredible. If you look at the fixtures, Wolves is actually not been performing really well, and I can see him scoring, continuing his fantastic run, even against Crystal Palace. You got Liverpool, going back to Anfield, and then really good fixtures for Southampton. So getting some kind of Southampton cover could be the way to go. We've got Neil Maupay, a little bit more cheaper than Ings, 5.9, and this is a massive differential, 2.3% owned. He's not going to go up too much. He's got 7 goals, 1 assist, so he's not like Ings. Ings got 14, so double the goals for Maupay here. But the fixtures is actually not too bad for Brighton. And we know how attacking they are. They want to be that kind of like... They play really well. Like, I watched them play a couple of times. And they're not that kind of team that's going to sit back a lot. And against Aston Villa. And we've just seen how bad Aston Villa is playing right now. And as you can see, great fixtures for Brighton. And a lot of people's thinking about like getting some Brighton players like Ryan. And even some of their defenders. Next up is Cantwell. I think Benduia is another good option. It's more of a differential. I got Cantwell in my team, and I do want to play him against Bournemouth. Bournemouth just lost 3-0 at home, and their defense is just not working out right now. They really need to sort it out, and I don't think they can do this in this game. The problem is with Norwich is I think Pukki's still out, so that might cause a little bit of issue there. So I'll see. I'll decide on what I'm going to be doing. But Cantwell at home, he actually performs really well. As you can see, against Crystal Palace, Wolves he scored as well at home. Arsenal, okay, 1 goal away against Everton. Let's have a quick look. There we go. Manchester United at home. Chelsea at home. He got some points in his Newcastle game. Like, he's doing really well at home, so a very good option there. And most people will actually will bench Cantwell for Game Week 23. Now Song is an interesting pick. He's back, and he was not playing in a striker role. Lucas Moura was playing there. I don't really trust Lucas. I trust Song more, so if I had the money and if I had to go for someone, I'll go for Song. And 9.8, he is a bit expensive. And 6.7 is a massive differential. And I can see him at least getting some kind of returns. He performed well against Liverpool. He had a couple of chances to actually score. He looked threatening. And Watford, I'm not saying that they're going to go out there and beat Watford. I feel like Watford actually will do something good here. There could be a shock. And they need Song to kind of perform. And to be honest with you, I'm saying this now because I'm looking at the Norwich fixture, and you know, for those people who are free hitting as well, maybe bringing him in game week 24 instead of game week 23. But you just never know. Things may click, and Song could still get some returns. It's a differential. It's something different, right? And of course, Watford's been performing really well, but you never know with football, and things can happen, and he could get some returns. Like, he's got the potential to get some returns. Kevin De Bruyne, I mean, 52%. Yeah, he's just gonna, yeah. He's here on this list because I can see him returning, and as you can see, he only played 62 minutes. Like I said, I wanted to mix things up, you know, have highly owned players and differentials as well. We already know about Kevin De Bruyne. And Fleck, as you can see, 4.9. You'll be asking yourself, wait a minute, why him? Just because he got, what, 9 points? No, I saw him before. I even spoke about Fleck before he got this 9 points. It's just one of those cheap options. As you can see, 4.9. And we need these cheap options. We need these cheap options that actually plays that could get us some kind of returns. I'm not saying that this player is going to get us a lot of returns every single time. These fixtures are not that good, but after that, it's actually not bad. But if you really think, really think about it, right? It's for your team structure. So if you want to try and get in Salah, Mane, and De Bruyne, you need some cheap midfielders if you want to go for free in the attack. Things like that. Think about that. Don't think about, oh, I'm not really liking that. Look at the price. Look how many players, how many times he played. He's got 4 goals, 2 assists, 6 clean sheet points. It's not too bad for that price. It's just the fact that Cantwell is a better price, but Fleck is more lesser owned, and after these fixtures could do well. But if you think about it, if you bring in a player like him, you can bench him. Because you have Salah, and then later on he will definitely help you out. You don't want to like make these transfers later on. You want to make him like now. If you want to try and get like Salah or Firmino, you need a cheap player, and Fleck is another kind of shout. So 6.2, a little bit more expensive, and look at that, 1.2% owned. I think the problem is we got other transfers in mind that we are thinking about instead of like trying to go for like differentials. I think we already have some kind of plan. That's why we're not going for like different players like from Watford. And look at these returns in the last 5, 2 goals, 3 assists. That is fantastic. That is fantastic for the price tag of 6.2 and only 1.2% owned. If he gets like 13 points, I'm gonna rank up really fast. And yeah, like you can see what happens like with Mahrez, with Aguero, you know, going for it, taking a little bit of a risk could help us out. So that's definitely a great option. Look at Dean. Now you don't have to go for him, but I kind of mentioned him before, and I mentioned, you know, Everton defense. If we look at their fixtures, they've got 4 game weeks, right? And I think you need, if you want a piece of Everton, you need to get them in now. You can't wait because their fixtures are turning, and that is not a good run. You never know, they could do well, but you want to get them in now to get the points. And that's why a lot of FPL managers they kind of like missed the opportunity because we have other plans in mind. So it's been a little bit tough to kind of get a lot of Everton players, but they are massive differentials. I'm not saying they're gonna continue doing well. We don't know. You know, that's one of those things that we like, right? We try to predict things, and if it plans out well, then we celebrate. If it doesn't, then yeah, we move on. We continue and we keep doing that. Lewis Dunk, Sometimes takes free kicks, which is great. 2 goals, 3 assists. And I look at these fixtures. I mean, if you don't have Ryan, let's just say you go for another goalkeeper, maybe the Southampton goalkeeper. I mean, I'm looking out for a defender. I bet you are thinking about upgrading Rico or Kelly or something like that. And here's one good option for you. This is a great option. I would definitely have him in my team if I didn't have Ryan. And maybe in the future I might even double up. We'll see. And not bad. Not a bad pick. Only 14.3% owned. And these fixtures are pretty damn good. If you look at Aston Villa, they're not scoring goals. If you look at Bournemouth, they are not scoring goals. If you look at West Ham, they're not really scoring a lot of goals. Then it kind of changes, but you just never know. Most of these players, teams that they are playing, scores less goals. Like they don't score a lot of goals, like Manchester City or Liverpool. And yeah, and goalkeepers. I mean, Ryan is a great option here. I'm gonna go for the Sheffield United. No, not Sheffield United. Southampton goalkeeper. Because we're not really looking at the defenders. We're looking at the goalkeeper. There we go. 4.3 and only 2.1% owned. And yeah, he's just playing regularly. I'm not saying that he's going to keep clean sheets, but these fixtures are looking good. Southampton is playing well. You never know. So that was some of the transfers for you guys to kind of mess around with, to think about. So if you like wild carding, or maybe if you use the wildcard kind of draft that I made on my previous video, use these kind of players to kind of sort your other plans out. These things will definitely help you out. Don't just look at the highly owned players. Don't look at players that did really well. Like, okay, Aguero did well, but we don't know if he's going to start the next game. And to be honest with you, I don't have any plans to bring him, because I've got other plans in mind. Stuff like that. These cheaper options, don't underestimate how they can help our teams out. Okay, so let's go through my team. Oh man. Now, as for my captain options, I got quite a lot of options here. Kevin De Bruyne at home against Crystal Palace. Jamie Vardy away against Burnley. Ings at home against Wolves. Mane at home against Manchester United. Even Tammy Abraham away against Newcastle. These are great options. But what I want to do right now is kind of like protect my rank. I'm around 95k. I want to try and protecting it for now, and then I'm going to go ahead and attack it in game week 24. So that's what I'm thinking to do, is kind of like protect what I got. Tammy Abraham against Newcastle. Abraham's been performing really well lately. This could be his last game for my team. I'll go and talk to you guys about my situation and my transfer. Ings is a fantastic, like I said, captain option against Wolves. Wolves are actually not performing really well. Maddison, this is like, I really, in this game week, I really want Ings, Maddison and Tammy Abraham to bring me the points. But as you can see, I've got a massive differential here with Mahrez. Do I think that Mahrez is going to play? Not really. I'm kind of happy that he bought me that 17 points. That was a fantastic transfer from me there. Right now in game week 23, it's pretty much like defending it right now, because I want to bank the transfer and I want to make 2 free transfers in that double game week 24. As you can see on the bench, I actually want to play Cantwell against Bournemouth. I doubt that Mahrez is going to play, but you just never know. If Mahrez does play, then he's got a higher chance to kind of get more points than Cantwell. I really do want Pookie to come back. Then I'll be more confident on Cantwell to get some points. But benching Mahrez is not a bad option because he is lower owned. Cantwell is highly owned. I don't know. I'll make a decision at the end. I'll probably put a poll up on my Twitter account. And as you can see, Rico is going to be my second and Kelly's going to be my third bench player. Now, as for my transfers, I've got 1 free transfer and 1.8 in the bank. Now, if I bank my transfer in game week 23, I'll be making this move, so I'll be removing Mahrez and Tammy Abraham. I'll bring in Salah, and I will bring a cheap attacker that actually plays, and that is Jordan Ayew. And there we go. As you can see, Jordan Ayew is 5 million. He will be, what, 7.3% owned. He'll probably rise a little bit more up than before game week 24. But if I look at this transfer, to be honest with you guys, I'm not 100% happy. Something wrong. Like, the balance on my team is a bit off. I'm not 100% sure. If I do this, I'll captain Mane because he's highly owned. So I've been looking at some transfers for game week 24, and what do you think about this transfer? Instead of going for these two, why don't I go for Firmino? I mean, if you look, he is 9.3, 9.8% owned. His ownership is going to go higher. And like everyone said, he's got great away fixtures. Like he does well away. As you can see, Southampton away, he scores a goal. Burnley away, scores a goal and assists. 2 assists at home. And against Chelsea, 1 goal away. Crystal Palace away, scores a goal. Everton, he gets an assist at home. Leicester City scores 2 goals away. And Tottenham away scores 1 goal. And if we look at these double game week fixtures, both of these fixtures are away. So if he's got a really good record away, why don't we just bring him? Oh, I don't know. So let's just say I bring him into my team and I have 8.7, and I could go for any other player that I want. Maybe in game week 24, I can go for Richarlison against Newcastle. Then Watford, he's got fixture in game week 25. Then in 26, he has a decent fixture against Crystal Palace at home. Or I could go for Martial, you know, get a Manchester United cover. And as you can see, he's actually been performing really well. Every time I bring him into my team, he's not. And look at this fixture in game week 24. Burnley at home. And bringing in like a player like Martial and Firmino, I've got 3 Liverpool players and I have a decent team. And I've got this cheap player like Cantwell that's going to be on my bench. Let's just say he's on my bench. Then I'll have like Trent, Sionchu, and maybe Lundstrom, or maybe Kelly or Rico. So it just makes my team a better balanced, and it's just simple, right? You could just remove Firmino and get in Tammy Abraham if I wanted to. I can go get Raul Jimenez. I could go and get Rashford with 1 move. And with Martial, I can go for maybe another Manchester City player, or maybe go to Richarlison. So it just gives me a better team structure. I don't know. We'll see. We will see. There might be some injuries, you know, that might change everything, but we will see. Anyways, guys, hopefully that you guys enjoyed this video. This video was a little bit longer than usual. But I thought I'll get in every single information out. I'm not 100% sure that I'll be creating a video on a Thursday, but we will see. But hopefully this will help you guys out. But yeah, anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Smash that like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time. See ya.